In the early 13th century, the Mongol Empire was at its peak, sweeping across Asia and Eastern Europe like a tidal wave. Led by the legendary Genghis Khan, and later by his descendants, the Mongols established the largest contiguous empire in history. But one country, Hungary, would eventually halt this unstoppable force. Today, we're diving deep into the story of how Hungary finally crushed the Mongols and the factors that led to this incredible victory. In 1241, Europe was a place of fractured kingdoms and internal conflicts. The Mongols, seizing this opportunity, launched their invasion of Eastern Europe. Their initial campaign was swift, brutal, and devastating. Cities fell one by one, and European armies struggled to counter the Mongols' superior tactics and military technology. Hungary, a central kingdom in the region, became the next target. King Béla IV of Hungary, aware of the Mongol threat, sought allies and tried to rally his kingdom for the inevitable clash. Yet, Hungary's preparations were hampered by internal strife and a lack of coordination among the European powers. Many noble families resisted Béla's calls for unity, believing that the Mongol threat was overstated or that Hungary could somehow avoid conflict. The Polish and German territories to the north had already been devastated, and it became increasingly clear that Hungary was next in line. The Mongol invasion of Hungary began with swift precision. They attacked with remarkable speed and organization, utilizing highly disciplined horse archers and coordinated attacks that confused the Hungarian forces. The Hungarians were not prepared for the Mongols' innovative tactics, which included feigned retreats, ambushes, and the use of superior mobility on horseback. The Battle of Mohi, fought in April 1241, was a defining moment. Despite the bravery of the Hungarian forces, they were no match for the well-coordinated Mongol assault. The battle ended in disaster for Hungary, and the Mongols proceeded to ravage the countryside. The situation looked dire. Hungary lay in ruins, with much of its population fleeing to fortified towns or the mountains. But as the Mongols moved to consolidate their control over Europe, an unexpected turn of events back in Mongolia changed the course of history. Ögedei Khan, the great Khan of the Mongol Empire, died unexpectedly in December 1241. News of his death reached the Mongol commanders in Europe, who were compelled by tradition to return to Mongolia to participate in the selection of a new leader. This interruption, however, did not mark the end of Mongol ambitions in Hungary or Europe. During the Mongol absence, King Béla IV saw an opportunity for recovery and reformation. He was a man transformed by the tragedy of Mohi and the subsequent occupation. Determined to protect Hungary from future threats, Béla initiated sweeping changes. He rebuilt towns and fortified castles, especially in mountainous regions that were difficult for the Mongols to navigate with their cavalry. New fortresses, many built with stone instead of wood, dotted the Hungarian landscape, creating a network of defensive strongholds. He also offered incentives to noble families and foreign settlers who would defend these territories, thus strengthening Hungary's military and economic resilience. King Béla also restructured Hungary's military, learning from the Mongols' tactics. He encouraged the use of light cavalry, similar to the Mongol style, and recruited skilled archers from across Europe. Béla's efforts to unify his kingdom under a common purpose were transformative, creating a sense of national resilience that Hungary had never seen before. He managed to unite feuding nobles under a shared goal, the defense of their homeland, instilling a sense of Hungarian identity. In 1285, decades after the first invasion, the Mongols returned. This time, however, they encountered a vastly different Hungary. The fortified towns and castles posed significant challenges to Mongol forces accustomed to fast-moving campaigns. Hungarian defenses, honed over years of preparation, proved resilient. The mountainous terrain and fortified strongholds thwarted the Mongols' cavalry, and the Hungarians fought with tenacity and skill. The Mongols were unable to penetrate Hungary's defenses effectively and suffered heavy losses. For the first time, the Mongols tasted defeat in a European campaign. The Hungarian resistance against the Mongols was not just a testament to military strength, but to the spirit of adaptation and resilience. King Béla IV's efforts to transform Hungary's defenses set a precedent for European kingdoms facing Mongol threats. Hungary's survival was symbolic, a beacon of hope for European kingdoms that felt threatened by the seemingly unstoppable Mongol horde. In the end, the Mongols would never again launch a significant invasion into Europe. The resilience of Hungary and the strategies employed by King Béla IV marked the end of the Mongols' European ambitions. Hungary's success in repelling the Mongols also signaled the importance of adapting military tactics to counter new threats, a lesson that reverberated across the continent. The story of Hungary's stand against the Mongols is a powerful narrative of courage, leadership, and the power of unity in the face of overwhelming odds. It reminds us that even the mightiest forces can be turned back when a people are determined to protect their homeland. King Béla IV's legacy lives on as the king who transformed Hungary, leading his nation from near destruction to a formidable force that even the Mongols could not conquer. Hungary's triumph over the Mongols remains one of the defining moments in medieval European history, an extraordinary example of a kingdom's resilience against the odds.